Welcome to the Everglade Green Dispatch, your go-to source for stories and insights from the heart of Florida's wild places. I'm Jessica, and each week we explore the environmental issues, conservation efforts, and natural wonders that define the Southeast. Today we're diving into a proposal that's been stirring up a lot of conversation and controversy here in Florida, which is the Great Outdoors Initiative. At first glance, it seems like a plan to bring more recreational activities to our state parks, but when we look a little deeper, it's clear that there's much more at stake. We'll explore what this initiative could mean for Florida parks, why environmentalists and locals are pushing back, and what you can do to stay informed and involved. The Great Outdoors Initiative, announced by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection in August 2024, aims to expand recreational opportunities within the state's parks. The plan proposes adding new amenities like golf courses, pickleball courts, disc golf, and resort-style hotels in several of Florida's most beloved state parks, including Anastasia State Park, Honeymoon Island, and Jonathan Dickinson State Park. The goal? To increase public access and boost tourism by making these natural spaces more appealing to a broader audience. But as ambitious as this initiative sounds, it's ignited a firestorm of controversy. Environmentalists, local communities, and even some politicians are raising alarms about the potential consequences of this initiative. Environmental groups like the Sierra Club argue that introducing such extensive infrastructure into these parks threatens their very purpose. These parks were established to preserve Florida's natural ecosystems, pristine environments where wildlife can thrive and where people can experience the state's natural beauty in its most unaltered form. The concern is that the construction of facilities like golf courses and hotels could lead to habitat destruction, displace wildlife, and fundamentally change the character of these parks. Local communities are particularly worried, especially in areas directly impacted by the proposed changes. The controversy has even led to the postponement of public meetings as officials scramble to address the mounting concerns. The Great Outdoors Initiative has faced rare bipartisan opposition from political figures across the spectrum. Leading Republicans such as the Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson and Senate President Kathleen Passidomo have voiced their concerns, arguing that the initiative could undermine the peaceful enjoyment of the state parks as intended by Florida legislators. These parks are not just pieces of land, they're a legacy, and there's a growing fear that this legacy could be compromised by overzealous development. This proposal highlights a critical debate about the balance between expanding recreational access and preserving the ecological and cultural heritage of Florida state parks. These parks were established not only as places for recreation, but also sanctuaries for the state's unique ecosystems. They're home to species found nowhere else on Earth and play a crucial role in conserving Florida's biodiversity. Introducing large-scale infrastructure into these environments can have serious consequences. Expanding infrastructure often requires significant land clearing, which can lead to habitat destruction and fragmentation. This process disrupts ecosystems by breaking up continuous habitats into smaller, isolated patches, making it difficult for wildlife to thrive. Fragmentation not only reduces the total area of suitable habitat, but also isolates populations, which can lead to decreased genetic diversity and increased vulnerability to extinction. We don't have to look far to see what could happen if Florida state parks are opened up to extensive development. Take, for example, the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona, where proposals to build commercial complexes just outside the park's boundaries threaten to increase traffic, pollution, and water usage in an already fragile environment. Although the plan was ultimately halted, the controversy underscored the constant tension between conservation and commercial interests near protected areas. Similarly, Yosemite National Park in California faced significant challenges in the 1990s due to increasing commercialization. The push to build more hotels and infrastructure to cater to tourists led to overcrowding, pollution, and strain on the park's natural resources. These developments not only altered the landscape, but also diminished the quality of the visitor experience, with natural areas becoming congested and less accessible. These examples serve as cautionary tales for Florida, highlighting the importance of resisting the urge to develop these precious natural resources. When state parks are opened up for development, the results are often detrimental, leading to the degradation of natural habitats, restricted public access, and the erosion of the park's original purpose. While the proposed developments might offer short-term economic benefits, such as job creation and increased tourism, the long-term costs could be much higher. The natural beauty of Florida state parks is a major draw for tourists, and overdevelopment could diminish this appeal. Overcrowding, environmental degradation, and the commercialization of parks could reduce visitor satisfaction, and in turn, negatively impact local economies that depend on sustainable tourism. Studies have shown that over-tourism, where the number of visitors exceeds the environment's capacity to handle them, can lead to the deterioration of local ecosystems and cultural sites. The degradation diminishes the attractiveness of these areas, potentially driving tourists away and negatively impacting the local economies that depend on ecotourism. Overdevelopment can also lead to an increased cost of living for residents, further straining the local community and eroding the socioeconomic benefits of tourism. Instead of pursuing traditional development, we should focus on sustainable practices that enhance Florida State's parks without compromising their ecological integrity. Responsible ecotourism, which minimizes environmental impacts and supports local communities, has been shown to be beneficial in maintaining the long-term viability of tourism destinations. By improving existing facilities and promoting conservation, we can ensure that Florida State parks remain a source of pride and enjoyment for generations to come. It's also crucial that the public is involved in these decisions. Florida residents should have a say in how their parks are managed, ensuring that any changes reflect a commitment to conservation over commercialization. By promoting responsible use and stewardship of these lands, we can preserve their natural beauty and ecological integrity, ensuring they remain vibrant and accessible for future generations. Florida State parks are treasures that we have to protect. While development might offer certain benefits, the risks far outweigh the rewards. The loss of biodiversity, cultural heritage, and public access, coupled with potential long-term economic harm, it paints a clear picture. We must prioritize conservation. By doing so, we can preserve the natural beauty and ecological integrity of our parks, ensuring they remain vibrant and accessible for all Floridians. Now more than ever, it's time to take a stand. Let's work together to safeguard Florida State parks from the dangers of overdevelopment. By supporting conservation efforts, advocating for sustainable practices, and making our voices heard in the ongoing debate about the future of these vital natural resources, we can ensure that Florida State parks continue to be a source of pride and enjoyment for all. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Everglade Green Dispatch. Florida State parks are a critical part of our state's natural heritage, and their future depends on the actions that we take today. If you're passionate about conservation and want to help protect these cherished places, I encourage you to check out the links in the episode description. There, you'll find resources and information on organizations like Friends of Florida State Parks, Audubon Florida, and the Sierra Club Florida, groups working hard to ensure our parks remain wild and beautiful for generations to come. You can get involved, support their missions, and make your voices heard. Together, we can safeguard these natural treasures from overdevelopment and ensure that Florida parks continue to thrive. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Jessica, and this has been the Everglade Green Dispatch. Stay green, stay informed, and we'll see you on the next episode.